your little dog?
I can do it. Wonder Wheel. I don't want to go through life being a Wonder Wheel murderer.
Here we go, riding off into the sunset again, talking about those wonderful toys. Oh man, I love talking about toys because it's the one thing that actually brings me a little bit of happiness in life. Because everywhere you look around you, it's turning to shit. Might as well just be burning to the ground at this point. But the damn toys are actually the one thing that give me a little bit of happiness. Get to look at that collection and say, hot damn. That's something that is not going to disappoint me most of the time. But anyway, we got an awesome panel. Of course, here we got Vinnie Art. What's going on, Vinnie? How you doing?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, we're hanging in there. I got some really cool stuff. Blast from the past kind of thing. Not from when I was a kid, but from a number of years ago. I'd say some figures from about 15, 16 years ago. And yeah, this is a cool set. So yeah, looking forward to showing this one tonight. And yeah, hanging out like you said, talking about good shit.
Oh man, awesome! And it's funny you should say that because I've got one that's a little bit older too. It's not super old school. It's not old enough to be going old school, but it's damn sure a little bit in the older range. So goddamn, simpatico. Here we go again, thinking alike.
Yeah, bro.
And we are joined by Trina, real hard. What is going on, Trina?
Hey, nice to be here. Looking forward to this awesome toy stream, and hey to everybody in the chat as well.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And speaking to the wonderful people that we got hanging in the chat, we got the Time Prophet. Hail! First, you most definitely are, sir. And right behind him, we got Chaos Hoy. What's up, Chaos Hoy? Good to see you guys. Hail the Pig World Order. Damn right, absolutely. Yeah. We are still looking to take over the world. We just need you to help us get there. We just need a few good guinea pig supporters. Hamsters are welcome to join the collective ranks because they can get into the places that the guinea pigs can't. And who else have we got in here? I know I've seen a few more names pop in. Trina's sitting in the chat as well. We also got Bad Take Bojan in the house. What's going on, Tina? I hope you're doing well. Lurch Troll in the chat. What's going on, Lurch Troll? And of course, my buddy Curtis YZ. He popped in earlier. Ready. All right. Power Up Rangers, it's morphin' time. And that was one of the franchises I never got into, but I understand everybody's love for it. And there were a lot of cool toys that they did make for that franchise. Also in the house, prancing around with the Wiener Dog Clan, we got the super fan Adam Shawham. What's going on? Oh, Digga, Outlaw, the Doc is in the house. Prolific writer right there. Awesome sci-fi and fantasy books. Be sure to check out the Doc and all his works. Doc, don't be ashamed. Post your links up in the chat. We got the Soul Assassin in the house. Smash the like button. What's going on, Soul Assassin? Slasher McSplitter also in the house. What's going on, Slasher? We just wrapped up Wrestling Society X, and I'm pretty sure most of you can say, "Oh, thank God." Even though the last couple episodes were not bad, they were on par with the first couple, but it was almost like. It was parting is not exactly sweet sorrow. It was like, thank God that this one is over and we can move on to the next one, which Slasher does have something planned coming up in the future for the wrestling does spin. Stay tuned for that one if you were an old school wrestling fan. And guys, Keely Chow also popped into the chat right there. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to share out the link. Let everybody know because YouTube suppression on guinea pigs is absolutely real. I am going to kick it over to Vinnie to start this one off. Go ahead.
All right. Hold on. Let me pull up. I'm going to show a short first, and then after you go, I'll show the bigger killer one. So 1 second. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet in stores, but apparently NECA re-released these. I posted this one up today. The other one is almost finished processing, but yeah, this is Hellraiser from NECA. I don't know if you guys seen this, but yeah, they are in stores again. This was in Best Buy.
I seen that probably, I want to say like 3 or 4 months ago. I seen it in Target.
Nice. See, I like that they're re-releasing them. For those people who are looking for him. I personally, I did not get him, but I thought he still looked really good, enough for at least to record a quick little clip. I've never been a huge Hellraiser guy, to be honest. But again, what they did here looks excellent. And this is coming from the guy who designed the Tortured Souls 2 figures, I designed ones that were so bad that they could not make them because none of the toy stores would carry them.
And let's verify that, bad meaning they were absolutely terrifying to look at.
Oh, absolutely. They were horrific. Just over here, like you see him, oh yeah, his chest is a little bit peeled and you see some blood there. I had like guts hanging out. I had 2 women sewn together.
Let's put it this way, guys. It would be as horrifying as you possibly could think. Like, imagine Kamala Harris naked with her Arby's roast beef lips in your face. Jesus. We're talking that level of horrifying.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. But if I could find them for cheap, I will get them just to review them because there's 3 of them that did get released that I designed. And I do have another one. I was debating if I should be filming this or not because it could probably hurt channels if I do film this one. It is a figure that got released, but I think it's too sexual. This was the Dorothy from the McFarlane kind of Dark Wizard of Oz line. This is the closest to one of the figures that got canceled. They have like in bondage kind of thing, but they stood her up. I had 2 girls that were kneeling down, and they were like so close where like each other's knees were in each other's crotches, kind of like that close. And they were sewn together, and it had other things happening because they wanted to look more like Cenobites, where like you had the flesh that's peeled and all that. But yeah, they all deemed it was too horrific. So apparently, after I left, they took a couple of my designs and they still wanted to reuse them. And one of the sculptors that I knew, he took one of the girls, stood her up, and kind of did like a slight bondage variation of her. And I do have that figure. That figure did come out. It did sell out. They made a 12-inch version of her too. But yeah, I have one where I repainted it because it was closer to what I wanted if we were going to do this one. But again, I don't know if I should be showing this. That's why I haven't yet. So I don't know. I'll show you guys after the stream, and you let me know, and maybe next week I'll do it.
Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I do remember seeing this one at Target, and once again, it's the same thing. I was never a humongous Pinhead fan. It's not like I didn't enjoy some of the early movies. I thought they were pretty cool, but I wouldn't say I was invested in it the same way I was with stuff like Halloween and Friday the 13th. You know?
Yeah, I agree. Because again, the first movie was like rated X or something. Like they had the one guy who was completely like all of his flesh was peeled off. Like I don't know, some of that stuff is just there's horror, and then there's just what am I watching? Torture porn. Like this is disgusting. So, but yeah, that's why I never really got into it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that. Real quick, what's going on? Lion Rattin in the house. What's up, Lion Rattin?
What's up?
Chow also said, hashtag proper raid. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Justin Proper. I appreciate that. Time Prophet said a short. Must be Tom Cruise.
That's teeny tiny.
Soul Assassin, God, somebody had mentioned that. I don't remember if it was Steve. I know he mentioned something about the comics, but I did hear something about Fire and Ice figure. So that was a really cool cartoon. Well, I mean, animated. It's not really a cartoon. It's an animated movie. Yeah. That was really, really cool. If you haven't seen it, I know it was available on Tubi for free. So if you've never seen it, I would definitely check it out.
Wasn't that Ralph Bakshi?
I think it was. Yeah.
Because they use like that same technology, and they like the heavy metal and.
Yeah, it was kind of like that rotoscope type of filming.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But I'm gonna start off with digging back a ways. This one is going back a little ways. This is something I've had in my collection for a while. It's something that a few people had asked me about. And when I took this thing out, I was going to go through everything with this, but I got really time crunched, and it became such a pain in the ass to try to do everything with them that I wound up just filming him in the figure form. So in case you haven't gotten a pop of cotton, if you were out there anywhere, just have a drink right now, because we were getting into something from 2003. And guys, let me know what you think about this big sucker.
Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back. Today we're going to be digging something out. Of course, it's Transformers related and Cliff Jumper. Unfortunately, there is no room for the mighty Cliff Jumper on the table for this one. But what are we digging out from the dustbin from 2003? And Hasbro Transformers Armada. We have Unicron. This one is a really incredibly huge piece. And I remember when this first came out, I was like, where was this thing when the 1986 movie came out? Now, I know they actually did have a prototype of one that they were thinking about putting out, and it just never happened, and it absolutely looked horrible. I'm going to include a picture of that right up in the top left-hand corner. But this one looks absolutely incredible.
Which I did.
Everything that they could have hit in this early version of Unicron from that movie, I think they nailed it. So let's go ahead. He's already been opened before, but let's get him out of the box and show him off. Here we go with Unicron and Dead End, his little mini con here transformed. The Unicron figure, while he looks pretty damn cool, one of the things that absolutely sucked about him is that these back wings didn't port in properly the way they were supposed to. So they kind of just hang all out and loosely in the way. That is the one thing that always irritated me about this figure. Other than that, he did have these light up eye feature right there. I think that was pretty cool. He also has a light up hand, so you kind of push on the hand would light up as well. If you had another mini-con, it could sit in the chest and it was able to actually fire out of the chest. That was pretty cool. Now we'll check out some of the articulation on this one. So here we go with the best that we can do with a pose. He does have a ton of ratcheting joints, but there are absolutely no real rockers on this figure to speak of. This was really before they were incorporating rockers into a lot of these figures. So, I mean, he can kind of move a little bit. There is some movement in him, but it's very stiff. And it just doesn't hold many poses very well. One of the things is these weak feet. These are not ratcheted at all. And for such a large figure, the ankle right here is kind of ratcheted, but this front toe is not ratcheted, so it doesn't hold his weight very well, and he almost wants to fall forward every damn time. As far as looking like Unicron, yeah, he does look like Unicron. That's without a doubt. He looks pretty good, but a serious lack of articulation and being able to hold poses is one of the things I always felt that held this figure back.
Wow, that is a freaking big figure.
Yeah,
you can tell. I'm not a small person, and that thing it's huge. It is huge. Once again, that thing absolutely kills it. And I wish I would have had time to include the original photo, because the original Unicron that they had set in pre-production looked like a ball. Like the body was round on this thing in the robot form. It just looked goofy as shit. And I'm kind of glad they never came out when it looks bad. But Reaction did come out with a mini version of a mini carded in the 3 3/4 inch size version of that original prototype of Unicron. And when I do the full video for this, I'm going to wind up putting in the planet form, which there's like 20 million steps to turn this thing into the planet form. And I just did not have time to do that yesterday to get it ready for today. So it was just kind of like, okay, I'm just doing him standing up, showing him off the best I can, and then moving on from there. Because, serious lack of time. It just takes so much time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was expensive, Lurch Troll. I think at the time when this came out in 2003, that thing was over $75.
Yeah, I think I seen that in Toys R Us. That piece. I know. I think they released 2 Unicrons.
They did release a second one later on. I don't remember what they changed about it, but this was the first one with the Armada line.
Gotcha. Damn. Yeah, that's a crazy piece, man. And does it transform properly? Like,
it does try to transform into a decent looking planet, but like I said, there are so many steps, that most people transform this thing are not going to be able to do it on the whim. They're going to need the instruction booklet because of all the little pieces. I got to move here, move there, slide that. It's a pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the ass.
And I mean, well, back then too, some of those pieces, they're very, very stiff and rigid.
Oh yeah, definitely. They definitely are. But like I said, the thing that really killed me about this one is the fact that those big skeletal-like wings that he has, that they don't sit outwards of the figure. They kind of just like hang loosely on the back and almost fall down, because where you need to port them in at, it doesn't port in because it gets in the way of like those two mouth hooks that he has on his shoulders.
Yeah.
It gets in the way of those. So there's nowhere to port it in. And as soon as you move the shoulders, it moves that and it pops everything out, and then the wings just flop back. It was the one thing that always pissed me off about this damn figure. And I don't know why they didn't figure out a better way to port those things into the side to make it look like more like the movie. Like, as far as the detailing, the look, the way all the little pieces on him are, like he looks like a big planet, like little ridges and electronics and all that stuff. That looks great. But they just missed in the way of being able to port that in, and then that front toe not being ratcheted, because I had that thing almost crash over about 5 different times. And one other thing I did mess up in this review, I thought it was a mini-con that went into his chest and fired out. Actually, no, he actually has a missile compartment that sits in the chest, and when you push the back button, it's mechanical, and it, like, the whole thing shoots out of his chest and then shoots the missile out and actually launches the missile. It's a pretty large missile and missile casing though. But yeah, I didn't realize that until after I filmed everything, and I did a film like a secondary mini part for that. And then I'm going to go back, I'm going to transform him into a planet, and I'm going to show that with the full review. And then of course I'm going to get the picture of the original prototype and put it in the regular video. But yeah, being pressed for time, I just didn't have it. It was around $75, $80, somewhere around there in 2003. It was a nice looking figure though. Like, the look from the movie was amazing. But that was the biggest problem with a lot of those Armada figures at the time. They were just like that. They were big, chintzy plastic toys where there were some ratchets and everything, but they didn't think about the finer detail of all these joints they were putting in. And how's this thing going to hold a pose with no kind of rockers in the ankles and feet and everything like that? Like, it was wasted. The potential was wasted.
Yep. Yeah, he wouldn't do that shit.
And who was it? I think it was Soul Assassin that actually said it best. Right there. Hasbro, engineering 80% hit, 20% mess. And what's going on, DJ Ronnie G? What's up, man? Spinner.
Ain't that the truth? Holy hell, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. Some of these things are nuts.
They had also did Primus, who transforms into Cybertron itself. And I never picked that one up because even though I think the Unicron one looks amazing, because of all the misses on it as far as articulation and everything, I just didn't want to get the Cybertron one because of that.
Yeah. That's totally understandable for sure. I know, man, you're a diehard, so it's and it's funny too, because like over the years, like I wasn't getting like a ton of those type of things because it's just I didn't think all of them looked that great, and the collection would be way too big. I started getting into Transformers more heavily. I'd say, what is it, in the last 6-7 years, something like that, like with the whole War for Cybertron shit, because like the details are getting just incredible, all that stuff, like the War for Cybertron and all that. But I had a handful of Transformers that I picked up a little bit earlier. And there's one I'm gonna have to show you at some point. Again, I found an old trunk, that's why I have a bunch of stuff. It might be the Optimus from that line. He still turns into a truck, but the top piece like comes off, like on top of the cabin, and he turns into a gun. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I'm not sure offhand.
Yeah, I'll have to show you, but it almost looks like it's a shield, but it's not. It transforms into like a hand cannon. But yeah, I'll show you later. Um, but yeah, you ready to see this cool piece that I got today, though?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, this is a creator-owned project by Arthur Adams. He's a big-time Marvel artist. He did like the newer Fantastic Four. We're talking like 1989, whatever it was, or 88. Where it was the Hulk, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Does that ring a bell? Remember that?
Yeah, the Defenders.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist, and his work just kept getting better. He does a number of covers and things for people, but he did have a creator-owned project called Monkey Man and O'Brien. And yeah, I'll show you this this set. This was actually a Toy Biz Build-A-Figure.
Oh, god damn, I do remember that.
Yeah, this thing was killer. I can't tell you the rest of the figures. I do not remember what it took to build this guy, but yeah, here he is. And Anne O'Brien is the female character there, but this is her alternate colors. I guess they had two different variants for her. And I like the darker color on her, but that's the only one I could find anyway at the time. So I was fine with it. But yeah, this Monkey Man figure, holy crap. I was really impressed by it. Again, I was going through my old stuff, and I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, this guy did look really, really great. I also have a pit. I got to find where I put him, though. That one I know for a fact I still have, and he's like the same size as this dude. Maybe a little bit bigger because his arms are even more massive than that. But yeah, these things are really, really high caliber. We're talking Toy Biz, like 07. We didn't really get figures like this. Like they just started raising the bar over at these companies, and I'm telling you, this thing was it impressed me. I forgot he's got multiple articulation points at the toes, his fingers, the thumbs. His jaw opens and closes, like lots of stuff. And for a female figure, they weren't doing double jointed elbows and knees. It was rare if you found figures like that, especially like those Marvel Legends. Forget about it. But apparently, I think Art Adams cut a deal with Marvel because the branding on the back of her leg says that. It says Marvel, and it says his name on it, though. At least he got his full name on it. But this was originally a Dark Horse Comics. Those are the people who published this. So I'm guessing he cut a deal with them.
Now look at that junk in the trunk.
Yeah, I mean a female figure that actually looked like a female. Her body proportions, face. I know they were trying to capture his style, but I think that was a little bit off. Doesn't look all that great, but again, it's not terrible. But again, the body's good. I think it's muscular the way the character's supposed to be, because I don't know if it's She-Hulk level strength, but she is super strong. That I remembered. Monkey Man, he's like this kind of gorilla from another planet where they're all civilized, and like he's a super genius, and he got pulled into this world with her. I don't remember the full details of the comic. It's been a long time since I read it, but I do have the 3-issue miniseries somewhere. And I think they did a crossover with like Gen X or one of the Wildstorm books. But yeah, articulation is pretty nice on this thing too. Like I said, she's got the crunch. It goes back further though. Waist swivel. She could do the Van Dams. That's considering she's got big thighs. Like still, the articulation was nice. How they did it. Upper. Wow, this dog won't stop today. Sorry if you hear barking. But yeah, she's got her calf is got articulation there. They have the hinge, and they did toes, which they weren't doing at all back then. So that was nuts. And a little bit of pivot. They didn't really hammer that down. But again, for 07, we weren't seeing that type of articulation. So kudos to them on that. I wouldn't be surprised if Art Adams helped with trying to get like the articulation on those things. But yeah, Monkey Man, awesome. when his mouth's closed, it looks exactly like how Art Adams does the expressions on his drawings with it open. Same deal, like really amazing. All of the fur that they sculpted on him. Again, this is some high level stuff that they did.
Is that like speckled paint that they have for the jacket?
Slightly. It's a little bit reflective, the type of paint that they used. But again,
real quick here, Kenny Rivera stopped in the chat. What's going on, Kenny? Thanks for joining us.
Hell yeah. But again, and paint applications are beautiful on this thing. Yeah, he's got like texture that's sculpted into his vest, and then like a kind of shiny brown. I don't know if it's paint or if it's actually like the plastic itself.
I've seen that type of speckled paint before, and there was a few things that I was doing when I was doing like painting models and stuff like that. We'd get some of that paint, and it almost looks like it's all like almost like glittery in a way. It's usually a metallicized type of paint, and Spartan Flash Sentry also is joining us. What's going on, man? I hope you're doing well.
Oh yeah. Oh, and all of his joints are ratcheted. The right one was a little bit stiff, but I was able to get it all the way up, and it locks. But yeah, his the shoulders, the legs, I believe even the knees are all ratcheted, and his fingers again, multiple points of articulation for those knuckles and stuff. So that's awesome. You could open his hand, or have the closed fist. The thumb articulates as well.
And once again, the really cool thing about that is that it was a damn Build-A-Figure. This wasn't a figure made specifically just to sell like this. This was a throw in pieces with the other figures to build this damn thing. And all the shit that it came with, that's pretty amazing.
It is. They did goof over here with that articulation. Usually you have the waist turn would be above, but they had like those pouches and stuff are connected to the top. So that was a little bit weird, but again, articulation's really fantastic on a big figure like this. His feet look like hands, like all of those are, well articulated. The big toe or the thumb looking part, same deal. Like it's very expressive. Excellent stuff what they did here. But again, I love Art Adams. He's one of those artists that definitely influenced my work. His detail, his clean line work. I know he's done comic books where his pencils were so tight that they didn't have to do any inks on them. That's the type of art that I'm blown away by, and these figures like it captured his style for sure. So hell yeah, man, they did a great job. And like you said, Tommy. For a Build-A-Figure, like the paint applications, everything they did on there is incredible. So, and that's how they scale with G.I. Joe classified figure, in case people are curious. And again, Sergeant Slaughter is bigger than most G.I. Joe figures, so it just gives you an idea of how big Monkey Man is.
Yeah, that thing is huge. What's going on, Daytona Falls in the house? What's up, Daytona? Badass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy for the time. Yeah, right. And Lurch Straw, I hear you. The stop oil people. Electric cars have plastic components. You know what? All those people protesting that shit, if you were to take away all the plastics, they wouldn't have any cell phones anymore, and they would absolutely lose their minds and probably jump off the nearest roof. Just saying. TJ Ronnie G, nice gorilla. Yeah, nice tush.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad everybody enjoyed this one. Like I said, doing like the Blast from the Past type of stuff, I enjoy that. I have a couple of other ones. There's one that I did like another short on, but I think I'll save it for next week because I think next week I'll have a few of them like that. I do have a piece that is jaw-dropping, and I think it's right up your alley too, Tommy. Barbaric type of character. I think you'll dig it, but we'll save that for next week. But yeah, this was the one I did for this one, and yeah, I hope you guys and girls all liked it.
That's an awesome piece, Vinnie.
Yeah, man, fucking excellent. I'll have to pull up some artwork too, so you guys you get familiar with it.
What's up, Frankie? Just got out of work and wolfing down some food. Oh, good to see you, Frankie. I hope you're doing well.
Nice.
So I got something, and it fits into the nice tush department.
Oh yeah, the nice.
Yeah.
tush
So
department.
I mean, if you want to show, are you going to show off that artwork now, or?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay.
Let me just show that real quick for those who were unfamiliar. So yeah, there's Monkey Man O'Brien. I guess that was like the first appearance, but they changed. He changed the look a couple of times, but yeah, and there's Anne O'Brien. But yeah, I guess they were pretty accurate that she has like that nose that just kind of drops off. But yeah, his work it is amazing.
Chin, I was going to say even the chin looked very triangular, like the figure.
Yeah, it wasn't big. Oh yeah, here was the other. That's like the main outfit, I guess. But I like the darker colors better. That was a bit too much for me. Oh, here's the full line. Okay, so those are all the figures that made it. And yeah, the darkness. I know I have him. He's somewhere as well. I just don't know.
Oh shit, Judge Death.
Yeah, Judge Death. Yep.
I have that Judge Death.
Oh, so that means you got one of these pieces.
I probably do then.
Nice. They did Marv. There was a few of them. Oh yeah, here's the pit piece. I have this guy. I'll review him. As soon as I find him, I'll find. I found Timmy there, but I don't know where I put Pit.
Oh, a couple Savage Dragons.
Yeah. Not bad. Even though Eric Larson's a dick, but
is that Witchblade?
Yeah. That figure could have been better though. There's a lot of this line not so great, but yeah, the Pit figure is that thing. Holy crap! Yeah, you can see how big he is compared to the Monkey Man. He towers over him. That's impressive. But yeah, so there's some of that cool artwork. Yeah, again, he's like a super genius gorilla. So there you have it. All right, let's see the booty there. You got
okay. Let's say hi real quick to Disney Sheep Herder in the house. Howdy and hail to all here to lick the like and show support for your channel. Have a great stream. Thank you. Appreciate it. DJ Ronnie G. Sometimes larger generators. Oh, they're talking about doing the power stuff, being able to power everything up. All done. Yum. Okay, you guys talking about the EVs and stuff like that. Red lentil spinach. Oh, spinach soup. I've never been a big fan of lentils, but I actually, this is one that I picked up a while ago. I actually showed this one off, and then when I got into reviewing it, I realized the bouquet that was on it, and I showed it off a little bit towards the end of the video. But I think this one was really good, especially for the price point I got it. So here we go with another figure. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back as we are hanging out with Barnes, Mr. BattleBot and G.I. Joe Pig. Barnes, try to keep your lettuce in your bed, please. Thank you very much. And what are we looking at today? From Hasbro, the Classified Series G.I. Joe, we have Lady J. Been sitting on this one for just a little bit. Got this one at a super discount and clearance at Ollie's for $12.99. This is not a bad find whatsoever. Here we go with Lady J right out of the box. Does not look bad at all. There is a fair amount of detailing on this one, especially for the $12.99 price tag. Of course, she's got a little belt right there. We'll be able to show it off. She's got some junk in the trunk, fellas. Look at that. She does come with removable hair. And then what you do is she comes with her baseball cap that you can sit right on top of her. So she has that classic look right there. So here we have Lady J with her gun. It looks like it fires these spear-like projectiles. It's pretty weird. I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty weird. Neat accessory. Not really sure if it's needed, but it's there. Showing off some of the articulation in a kneeling pose. She got a spear, and of course she's got a small knife as well. And here she goes with the last of her accessories. She got this big backpack.
when I think that's a camera that sits on the side over there on the arm. The arm does move a little bit, and showing her in a nice big wide standing pose right here. You have the backpack unit. It's got a fair amount of movement in the little camera right here. Nice little movement in there. And if you turn it around, it actually has storage for the incendiary device and one of the spear tips as well. So you can kind of store it on the figure in the back and put it right on her back. I like that. That is smart thinking. Anyway, guys, with all the accessories that this one came with, and especially for a discounted $12.99 at Ollie's, I do not have much to complain about for this figure. The articulation is there, the likeness is there, and the figure does look great. I think this one is a hell of a pickup, especially if you can find it if you have an Ollie's near you. Go ahead and grab this one, $12.99. You can't go wrong with this one. I think this one is actually very well done.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I. Joe will dare. G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe.
That last pose, glorious.
I did a couple more like that, like
Yeah.
just try to just make it over dramatic. So when I do the video, it's just going to be like a big like zoom in on her ass.
Yeah, no, dude, nicely done. I mean, I got that piece too. She was in the first wave. Dude, for $12.99, yeah, amazing figure. When you put the baseball cap on, you got to watch out for the sideburns because it gets pinned underneath.
Right.
But otherwise, yeah, beautiful. The way they did, yeah, that's a good female figure.
I was thinking G.I. Joe's T said that, yeah.
But hell yeah.
But no, yeah, I was shocked for $12.99 for this one. Yeah, like, and I was actually kind of worried at first because the chest cut that it has in it. At first, I couldn't get it to move. Like, it was so
really?
stiff, it didn't want to get, and I had to play with it a little bit, and all of a sudden it started moving all over the place, and that's how I was able to get her in that, like, big, like, leaning position with her ass sticking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out. If you play with it too much, you go blind.
Yeah, right. I try to keep these things to a minimum, Vinny, and I just try not to get too ridiculous with it. But no, a very fun figure, especially for that price tag. And I seen some of these other figures that are just like dropping in prices in the stores, and I want to follow that up with a toy break because it's in the same ballpark. It's actually showing off something that I've seen on the shelves, one of which you just recently reviewed. And I tell you, seeing these on the toy store shelves again is actually okay. Maybe Hasbro's starting to pay attention to all the screw-ups that they've been doing lately, and now they're trying to reach back out to fans. Is it too little too late for a lot of us? I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait to see where they go with the agenda-driven nonsense. But guys, here's your toy break for Dead.
Some new G.I. Joe's got Dusty. I'll tell you what, though, when I think of Dusty, I don't think of green. I always think of that tan color, that sand color. That's Dusty to me. Got a Cobra Copperhead, a Python Crimson Guard. We got Shipwreck. Buddy Vinnie just did a review on him. Really nice looking figure. Also got Edward Torpedo. Look at that. Pretty cool. They actually got some new stuff for a change. That is pretty interesting. More. They got rock and roll. Awesome.
Torpedo and Rock and Roll looked awesome.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted if I saw them. Dusty, I actually saw him with the proper tan color, and it was in the better packaging where it's the window you could see the figure.
Yeah, it was like an earlier release.
Yeah, I came close to getting him, but I landed on Shipwreck. Shipwreck was the character that I really liked, but I don't know, man. Torpedo looked damn good, and so did Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I was very tempted when I seen Rock and Roll. You know,
Yeah.
he looked great. Looked great. And I know I'd seen some still photos of him outside of, obviously what they're showing on the box, and it looked tremendous there too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd also seen one that they did for Grunt, and that one didn't look half bad as well. So, I don't know. I mean, there's a few of these ones that they're hitting for the G.I. Joe Classified. Again, like it seems like they're starting to go back to basics, and they're starting to give like some good stuff again. Some like old school looking designs, and those are the ones that are usually for guys like us that's what we're looking for. We're looking for those classic designs, and these are usually the ones that fly off the shelves.
Yeah, they usually are. Man, when they do it right.
That's another thing that they're doing, and that's why I was saying, I'm wondering if Hasbro has finally gotten the memo. Don't be a Bud Light. Don't look how well that's going for them. Because another thing I did see that they're starting to lean heavily back into like the G1 inspired stuff. So they're doing a lot more of those now. All of a sudden, they're doing re-releases of some of these. They are doing like re-releases of some of the older molds, just recolored and stuff like that. But they're hitting at some of the other characters from like the G1 era, Diaclone and stuff like that. Yeah. And they're releasing those figures now. And it seems like they're already pushing away from the Rise of the Beast and the mess that absolutely was. I mean, not only just with the movie, but with all the figures that are sitting there rotting on the toy shelves.
Yep.
And as far as like those really bad Marvel Legends figures that they had out there, I've seen Cyclops today was sitting in the discount bin for $11.
The White Queen doesn't look bad, but again, you can't see the figure itself, so it's like, what's the point?
Yes, I wish they would just go back to the packaging that they promised all the freaking fans, you know?
Yeah.
Because that shit is ridiculous.
It is.
What did you have anything else, Vinnie?
Today, no, but like I said, next week I should have a couple more really cool ones. Because some of them are more like statues, so I think I'm just gonna do like 1 minute shorts on them. Because there's one that has zero articulation, but it was a figure. It's technically called it was a McFarlane one, but and yeah, that Dorothy again. I don't know if I could show it. I'll talk to you guys afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you showing it to us once after a stream before, and it was pretty gnarly looking.
I gotta see it. I don't remember it.
No, the Dorothy I never showed you. It was the other one I showed you. It was still in the package. The Tortured Souls one, the female.
That was the one with the skin flayed off, I thought.
Yeah, she had like the wings, but the Dorothy one is more. It was more of a Wizard of Oz line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that I don't know. They goofed big time on it. Because again, they just they reused my design. It's after I left, so one of the sculptors who really wanted to sculpt those two girls together, he just did one and turned it into Dorothy.
Yeah, climate change, Jesus. I wonder if some of these toy companies are going to blame climate change for their poor choices for the consumers.
Yeah, right?
It's not selling because of climate change. But climate change. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you a choice. I do have a couple more topics right here. So are we going sci-fi or are we going something that is almost non-relatable to most toys that we're showing off?
Is the sci-fi one closer in the vein of what we were showing?
Not really.
Well, flip a coin, damn it.
Trina?
I say go for the one that is totally unrelated.
Totally unrelated?
All right, yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right, guys. Here we go. This is not a toy in any means, but it is something that I will be using for toys. Something I've been working on for quite a while. I've been having a lot of fun with messing with this, and I finally did get the rest of the stuff that I'm going to need to finish this thing off. And once I do that, I am going to put a full video out of what I did and the steps that it took to get there in case anybody else wants to try to copy this. But here we go.
Here we have the next stage of it. Added a little bit more texture in there. I did a black foundation, and then I put gray over top of it, and then I did like these stone colored paints. So I did a gray stone, and then I did, it's basically like a tannish stone on top of it, just to give it a little bit more change in color, so you can kind of see it's almost like that pebbly look to it. And then we're gonna come back out and do some more paints. So I came back out here and I did some browns and some greens. Really wanted to darken this up and dirty it up because it's supposed to be like an alleyway, like a paved alleyway. So I think I hit most of it. So I mean, it's still gonna have some like lighter grays up near what would be the walls of the buildings, but mixed in some greens and some browns and everything just to darken it up, making it look a little filthy. So after seeing the first two pictures of what the foam board looked like when it was first cut and then just sprayed in a black base, came back out and I just kind of hit it with a red spray paint, a little lighter in some areas, a little heavier in other spots. We'll come back after I do some more touch-up. Back here working on the wall. So before I actually start going into finer detail, I made this little cutout piece just so I could spray individual bricks and try to get some of that overspray, and I think it worked fairly well. I mean, there's a few spots of overspray I could touch up with actual just paintbrush and everything, but I think being able to get a bunch of different colors in the bricks too using this thing right here, I think that was pretty good. I mean, I wanted to try to do as much possible with just spray paints, just show that it can be done, and you can work on these things like relatively cheap with a little bit less time.
It's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah, dude, you did a great job with that.
And it's not even done. I mean, like the stone slab ground,
Mhm.
I added those greens and everything to kind of give it like that mossy, dirty effect and everything. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to do like a brown wash over top of the stones, just to bring out all the effects of the stone when it got pitted and everything from some of the spray paints. So some of the spray paints, depending on how heavy I went in, it actually would pit and make it look like real stone, where it was just like pitted and it was worn down. And of course, when I was doing most of the carving with this, I'd actually lined it up, drew all the lines on there with like a marker, and then I went in with a wood burning tip and just created all this stuff. And then after I did that, maybe come back in, like sand off some of the rough edges, and then sprayed it all down with base coats and then the other coats. And now I'm going into finer details. So the floor is just about done. It just needs like a good brown wash over top of it to just bring out all the details. And the brick wall, I darkened that up a little bit from that last photo, so it looks a little bit more filthy, a little bit more dirty. And I'm going to go in on that one. I'm going to do a black wash over that, and then I'm going to go in with a nice dirty gray color, because you don't want it white, because when they first put a brick wall, it's nice and white, but after it's been sitting there for a while, it's got that dirty hue to it. So I'm going to go in with like a gray, like a dirty looking gray, and just get in between all the mortar lines and everything. And then that'll be done. And the last step I'm going to do is there's a special tool that they use for photographs. So it's circular and it's about the size of a magnet. So I'm just going to use that, heat that up, pop 2 holes in the bottom of these foam boards so I could put magnets in there and just magnetize the ends together. So when I go to set it up, I don't have to worry about nothing falling over. It's just going to magnetize. And I'll probably do 2 end caps as well, so I can get something that just like it's a fully enclosed setup to be able to view figures. And when I'm done with it, just pop the magnets off and flatten it and put it away easier. It's not going to be in the way.
Yeah, dude. See, that's perfect. Thinking about every step along the way, and yeah, man, dude, I can't wait. Can't wait to see the totally finished result.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Comedy. I appreciate that, guys. I've been working on it for a little while. Once again, it's time. It's having the time to be able to work these things.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man.
I know, man. There's just so much on the plate, and it's always difficult to get to things. And then you put regular family stuff and regular everyday shit. Yeah, I don't know how we're getting some of the stuff done that we are.
You'd have smoother cobble. I don't know. I've seen some of those things where they are just jacked up. I mean, look at a city street, man. Like, you rarely ever get a city street that looks smooth. It looks like a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you go to places that are Democrat run. Just saying. Thanks, DJ Ronnie G. And yeah, I'm working on it. I'm trying to. I want to remind everybody about this. These 2 pieces are my first attempt at doing this kind of level stuff. So I had no clue what I was doing. I just kind of went for it. And I was like, why not? And you know what? I don't think it came out half bad. There were some things I would definitely change and do more of. So some of the pieces on the brick wall really look broken away and like blown out and destroyed. If I would have thought about it at the time, I would have did more of that in the bottom half too. Because I really like the way it looks on the top half, which unfortunately is not going to be seen doing videos very often.
Yeah.
I actually was thinking about that time, Prophet. I was actually thinking about on the bottom or the back half rather of these pieces. I was actually thinking about doing different setups. So I could just flip them around and magnetize them together. So I could have various setups off of just a few pieces of foam board. Instead of just making a whole bunch of individual ones, like double side them, so I can use them in different aspects.
If another thing you can do is add graffiti to the wall.
I am definitely going to do that. Yes, the moss will be a great addition. The moss is coming. What's going scrambles the death dealer. Yeah, like once I get this all completely finished, like moss and all the other stuff, and the graffiti, Trina. Oh yeah, I already got something picked for one of the graffitis are going to wall. There's going to be the Guinea Pig Collective in graffiti with a big paw print. It's going to have to be on that wall. Maybe a cybernetic guinea pig head too, with like paint like dripping down or something. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Badass.
Yeah, because that's your channel icon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Jumper was here. I have to put that near the top. Oh shit! I made modular pieces in 3D. It can be used to make a whole game from a few pieces. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. It took a little bit of time, but it's one of those things. As I get a little bit more comfortable with it, I'm sure I'm going to be able to do a lot more. Like one of the next ones I want to do is I want to be able to do some kind of sci-fi alien backdrop so I could show off all those predators. So
yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as hard as I initially thought, though, because I was rewatching Predator 2, so some of those scenes, and there isn't a whole lot to that backdrop of the inside of the ship. There's not. There's a few alcoves and stuff like that where they got all the skulls and everything like that, but yeah, there's not like a whole lot. Like it's not going to be like that brick wall. I'm not going to have to score this entire damn piece.
Yeah. What's the material again you used?
It's a foam board that they use for insulation.
Okay.
So it's a Cornex foam board. Like it's like I think it's Cornex or Corny. It comes in I want to say a 2x2 square of foam board.
Okay.
And it's relatively cheap. It's like less than $14 for one of these big foam boards, and you can cut them in half. and you can make a whole base one, for the two halves, and then you just get another foam board and maybe chop a little bit off the top for your backdrop, depending on how high you want to make it. I made mine exceptionally high for the brick wall.
Right.
That thing's it's over. I want to say it's like 14 to 15 inches tall for that.
Okay. Dude, pretty damn cool.
Very. Now you can get those at like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, right?
Yes. That matter of fact, that's where I got mine, was at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I was actually turned on to that by another guy that does diorama stuff, because he says that's what he uses, and he said it's incredibly easy to work with. So I was like, I'm going to give it a try, because if you go to the craft store, the garbage shit you get at the craft store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely expensive. It does not cut very well, and it makes a huge freaking mess.
Mm-hmm.
This stuff, no problem whatsoever. And what's up to the men's room?
Hold on, Tom. You said that this is. You don't think there's much going on this? Hold on a second, because this is pretty. This is pretty crazy.
That whole centerpiece, no big deal. The back walls, there isn't like a lot of depth to it. You know what I mean? So a lot of that could be like mostly painting. I mean, the alcove, like I said, there's the alcove for the skulls, and everything else is just painting. It's not like there's no depth to that. You know what I mean? It's not like, you see what I'm saying? Yeah,
but I don't know, dude. If you think you could do it, man, and it's not going to be too crazy, it's going to look fantastic. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, if it's just like drawing it on and painting it on, stuff like that, architectural wise stuff like that's going to be no problem whatsoever. Yeah. The biggest problem I'm going to have is creating that center stand-up piece.
Oh shit! Someone did do it. That's pretty impressive.
Well, you can use different media for that. So you can use some cardboard. You can use clay.
True. Yeah, there's a few different ways you could do it for sure.
Yeah, you can incorporate like a different stuff to it too. You don't have to just like pick one. Like, okay, I'm going to do the whole thing out of clay. That would be really heavy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. What I would do for something like this. Now, hear me out. This may sound stupidly silly, but it's worked for me in the past. Pool noodles.
Okay. Yeah.
Take a pool noodle and just burn it. Whittle it down and then burn the details for the freaking posts.
I love how he made it light up.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So what I can tell you exactly what he did. So he printed those two side pieces. He printed them out in like probably a clear plastic, or a clear like you know what I mean, like those clear papers, like that plastic like type paper. He printed those out and just put the lights right in behind them.
Looks like it. Dude, again, this is some really fantastic stuff. I love these type of dioramas.
Yeah.
I know there's even less room for shit like that, but man, do they look great.
Yeah. If I had the space, I'd be doing an awesome one for my horror stuff.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like what? All right, I might do it for next week then. There's a piece I have that it was a box set, and it's not intricate like this, but I want to keep it a surprise because it looks amazing, and I got another figure from a totally different set and a different company that fits perfectly with them, and yeah, I'll be showing that next week. But it's pretty badass. But again, there's a little bit of diorama to it,
And there's a few companies that actually make cardboard dioramas, and don't get me wrong, I think a lot of them look pretty good, but they're all, like I said, cardboard.
Yeah,
they're just pushed together cardboard pieces, and they're like over $60 some odd. Look, I want to show off my figures. I want something that looks really nice. I want something that is going to last too, especially if I got to break it down and move it. And time profit, I'm going to put magnets just to hold the backdrops and side pieces together to the base. But as far as like, I see what you're saying about a whole bunch of little bricks. But if I was putting a whole bunch of little bricks with magnets, that thing would get so damn heavy that it probably would be It would be hard. It'd be a pain in the ass to store because it'd be too much weight after a time. I want to try to keep this thing as light as possible. So when I put this up on a wall or something like that, I'm not going to have to worry about it falling or breaking the shelf unit.
Yep. Yeah, because some of these things, man, yeah, it's just the weight of them. Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah, a laminated paper. Yeah, laminate paper. Yeah, I have a 3D printer that I still haven't used yet. I haven't had a chance to take the damn thing out. But now that the wife's not here for 2 weeks, maybe I can play with the paint fumes since I don't have to worry about her passing out. I'll have to call up Chris Fisk and ask him, hey, how do you do that pass out thing? Do you like get in there and just breathe in the fumes?
I was
and walk
about to
into
bring that up. I was going to bring. You got to get him involved. Shit.
Yeah, there's a few really good guys that I've seen that do a lot of this stuff, and some of the inspiration I've got from some of them watching what they did with their stuff. So I mean, the magnets, like snapping all the pieces, was definitely the one guy, Drip Mode, that I seen doing these dioramas, and that guy does some amazing work too. Like, holy shit, really impressed with some of that stuff. But
yeah, I know, like those some of those sites where I used to get the third-party figures, they do have like diorama type things for like 6 or 7 inch scale and for the 12-inch scale. And they've had some really cool ones. Some things look pretty cheesy and bad, but other things are pretty damn impressive.
Oh yeah, Time Prophet. I've had some of the magnetic tape, but for something like this, the foam board has a little bit of weight to it, and usually that magnetic tape it doesn't hold very well. So I've used it for refrigerator magnets, and the shit falls right off the refrigerator.
Yeah, those magnets are weak. Another thing you could do is fit them together like puzzle pieces.
Yeah, that could work.
No, I would be worried about the foam breaking after time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that's why I was going to go with just the magnets, because I can get some fairly light but strong magnets to put into those little pockets, and it would be more than enough to hold these things together.
I wouldn't go with like rare earth magnets, because those are really strong. And
I know. I was using it for BattleBots. It would pull. They would pull right out of the foam.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
What I was going to use is the type of magnets that you would find normally in the craft shops. They're strong enough to hold something like this together, but they're not too strong that they're going to pull anything apart. And they're the same type of magnets that usually people have on shower curtains to stick to the side of the tub. Just strong enough. Yeah. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Just like your run-of-the-mill kind of like refrigerator magnet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. But that was that one. And, like I said, just spending some time with it, just playing with it, decide what I want to do. My biggest problem is I start staring at something and I keep questioning myself. Did I do enough? Did I not do enough? Did I do enough? It looks too light. Maybe I need to darken it up more. Then I darken up. Now it's too dark. I got to lighten it just a little bit. Then I lighten it. Maybe it's too light. And that's the problem I have with a lot of this stuff, because I sit there and I start second, third, fourth, fifth, and I just keep guessing myself over and over again. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to show it off here tonight, to just, kind of gauge what everybody thought about the work that I did so far on it. And
oh, dude, man. I think it looks freaking spectacular.
Yeah. Yep, it's awesome.
I know, but I know who you're talking to as well. It's like, oh yeah, did I put enough detail into this artwork? I torture myself the same way, brother.
You know what? It's that perfectionist thing. You want to get it. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think with a lot of us that are artists, and I don't care if you are a musician, if you draw, if you paint, no matter what you do, you get that mode where it's not so much, hey, I want to, it's not to say that you don't want to make it the best that you possibly can for everybody else that is going to be listening to it, viewing it, buying it, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's you're going by your own levels. So my level of how much do I want to put into this thing is a lot higher, I always feel, than where I'm at. And that's why I keep wanting to do more, and I keep wanting to do more. I'm trying to meet my own expectations first.
Yeah.
And what's going on? Awesome one.
Right.
Good to see you. Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is with something like a brick wall like that, a dirty brick wall, the colors are not going to be consistent. They need to be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it actually got a little bit more difficult because, like, trying to do as much as I could with spray paint cans, the overspray is ridiculous. Even with that little notch out piece that I was using, there was still a bit of overspray. So I got to go back in and do like small touch ups with some brushes and stuff like that. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. I used pool noodles on that one little forest scene that I did. It's a pool noodle that's a big giant tree in the middle of the diorama.
Yeah, that looked great too. That little forest scene.
Yeah, that actually looks like a tree. Like that was that's impressive.
Right?
Hey, when you're working on a budget, you figure out stupid ways to make things work.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, it's not stupid though. It's actually a mark of genius.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't let it get to your head though, Tommy. She didn't just call you a genius.
I will defer all the genius talk to the pigs. They're really running the show anyway. Yes, scrambles. Yeah, I feel like building and creating things is so rewarding. I'm now working on building my second guitar out of parts. Nice.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That is killer.
Thank you, Chaos Oy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the budget stuff is the most satisfying, though. Yeah, because when you can figure out little workarounds, it's like, yeah. I got lucky.
You're right.
Yeah.
I built my my light box that I do the figure reviews in. And I did it where it's like all folded up and shit too, so I can get out of the way. It's fun and rewarding, those kind of little projects.
No, Time Profit. They don't eat noodles. The hamster does, though.
Yeah, I did mine with those canvases you can get at the craft store, for painting. How they have black ones?
Yeah.
I got 3 of those that I have that I use as my backdrop, and I painted them purple.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and they stand together with Velcro.
Nice. Yeah.
So when I'm done, I just take them apart, and they're easy to store.
Yep, that's it. That's why mine it's all folded up like that too, and I have the Velcro all over them. Although the last place I had some water damage on my stupid light box, but yeah, that sucks. But hey, you know what? If I have to, I can make a new one.
Yeah.
Awesome one. I would say because it's a certain art form to reupholster something. It takes a certain amount of skill. Not everybody can just pull that shit off.
Yeah, one of my cousins, that's what he did for a living. He did it for a number of years.
Some people have speculated that Jack the Ripper might have been a reupholsterer. But I do have one more topic, and this one is sci-fi. And I'm sure if somebody like Papa was here, he'd probably get bored to tears. So this one is for an older sci-fi series. And this is it's not really a figure, but it is a ship. And it's got some features to it. And I really like it because I really did enjoy this franchise as a kid. And I still enjoy the older versions of this franchise today. I mean, I go back and I watch the old reruns whenever I can when I find them available. So I picked this one up. This is a Diamond Select piece, and I was really happy with it. I mean, even though it carried a slightly higher price tag than what I would assumed it would have. But here we go. Let's take a look at it.
Hey everybody, what's going on? We are hanging out with Dark Helmet, Lord Helmet, the master of the sci-fi, right Helmet? What's up, Helmet? And we are hanging out with Helmet today, and we got something to show off, of course, that is sci-fi related. This one coming by way of Diamond Select, another thing has been in my collection for quite some time and haven't had the opportunity to do a full review on it. We got the Starship Legends USS Enterprise NCC 1701 electronic starship. So as you can see, it comes with a nice little display stand, and here we have the Enterprise. Got a little.
This is Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
I really like that. Here we go with the Enterprise on the stand, looking really spiffy. I really like this.
Kirk of the USS Enterprise.
That was pretty simple. All I had to do was open up the battery compartment again, and you can turn it from try me to play.
The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before. This is Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Engines ahead. Back to transporter control, on the beam down. Energize. Activate tractor beams. Captain Kirk to all ship personnel, red alert. All levels to full power. Ready with that. All hands battle stations. Arm photon torpedoes. Fire! Resume course to our next destination.
Of all the voice elements and sound elements that actually come on this ship and the light up features, I think this one is absolutely incredible.
Keep pressing it.
I can't believe all the sound effects that damn thing had between Shatner's voice and then all the sound effects and the light ups on that thing. That thing is absolutely incredible. I think that is an amazing piece. At the time, it was $65 around 2019, 2020 for that piece.
That's
Right,
awesome.
yeah, right now,
is awesome.
Playmates does a version of it, but I don't think they have as many sound effects, and it's only a $30 piece.
Okay. Nice.
Nah, Luffy has got Star Trek. Why I hate that shit? Boo,
What?
damn you. What's going on, Luffy?
Oh,
Good to
shit.
see you. Good to see you.
Those sounds,
Definitely more cool
a
than my
couple,
talking parrot.
a couple of sounds were drilling into my brain. I had to take my earplugs out there. Oh,
Yeah,
man,
it-
the
it-
buzzing
they-
and the
Yeah, it gets. Some of them are pretty loud. Some of them seem a little bit louder than the other ones. But yeah, I mean, incredible piece.
and it's totally, man. That thing, that's one hell of a score. Because again, like you said, that type of stuff, it is expensive. You know.
Well, after I had picked this one up, and I'd actually seen it in FYE, and they had a few on the shelf. After I'd grabbed mine,
Mhm.
and this was at the time when I was cleaning up the house when I was dealing with my dad's shit. Yeah, I picked it up. I went back the next day because we had time because we were waiting for trash to be picked up and we couldn't, clean anything else out. Went back up to, I don't remember if it's Franklin Mills or which one it was, and we went into that FYE again, and they were all gone. So when I grabbed it, the other two that were there, gone instantly. So when I grabbed it, it was the last chance I had because I'd never seen him again from Diamond Selects anywhere.
Yep. Shit.
That is amazing. What an amazing toy.
No, I wish they would have did a Klingon battle cruiser or a bird of prey too, because I would have snagged something like that as well.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. They got some good ones out there.
Luffy's God ain't on track. It's okay, buddy. Not everybody's going to be into the same franchise, and I'm not going to hate you for it. I think you're wrong, but I don't hate you for it. I love that original show, and I picked up a few of the other things that Playmates has done, like they did the they did the phaser and everything. I know at one time they did a tricorder too. I wish I could have nabbed that when I seen it. The only thing I don't remember ever seeing them do is a Klingon disruptor. That's the other thing I definitely would want to get.
Yeah, the ships are always awesome. I always dig that stuff.
I still have a whole bunch of the little micro machine ones.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I showed them off like a while ago. The one that actually comes with an exclusive Enterprise that was only available to the big giant set that had all of them in it. I can't remember if it was the B. I think it might have been Enterprise B, I think.
All right.
I forget. It's sitting in the back room. It's actually up on the shelf on the wall. So.
Good thing, man. Yeah, I got a couple of things like that too, but it's just right now I can't get to them because I'd like to do that DeLorean I have. I think you guys would dig that one.
Yeah, I hear you, Scrambles. A lot of people are like that. See, when I was a kid, my dad used to watch the syndicated TV shows, the reruns. So I would sit there and watch it right along with him. I enjoyed the shit out of that series.
Yeah, I used to watch them back when I was like when I was a kid. I used to get sick. I'd watch that, like reruns of those, and The Price is Right.
Awesome one. Yeah, nice. I have a few. He says he has very few toys from when he was left as a kid. Yeah, but they even still have some for a lot of us is a feat within itself. I was fortunate enough that my father had saved most of my childhood toys.
Yes.
Yeah, thank God for him being a pack rat.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, dude, yeah. I came across a couple of them. I found like my G.I. Joes, the originals I still had. All the rubber bands snapped.
Oh.
All of them. Yeah, I had them all in a bag by themselves, like a sandwich bag. I go to lift it up, and I can see that all of them were all like broken apart.
Can they be fixed, or is it not worth it?
Oh, they're easy fixes.
Yeah, you could put something in there for the hook.
Well, here's the best thing I've found. Anybody is trying to repair those little GI Joes. So you go out and you buy like one of those little O-ring kits, like you'd use for like sinks, faucets, and stuff like that. Little cheap O-rings. You could buy a O-ring kit with all the same size if you know the one you need. If not, just buy like one of those big multi-packs so you can figure out which size you need. Because I forget what the size is off the top of my head. So you get those little O-rings, and it's the one screw in the back. Take it out and just take the band out and put the O-ring right in there. It's perfect.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
And the O-rings obviously are going to last 10 times longer than the original bands that came in the Joes.
Yep.
How do you figure this? Is this just trial and error? You figured this out?
Pretty much for the most part, like repairing some of the toys. Yeah.
That's excellent. It's like when the world goes to shit, like Tommy's just going to be like living inside of a Home Depot just so he can fix his figures.
Dude, Home Depot is the best place. Like if there's a disaster, that's where you want to go.
For sure. That, and you need another store next to it that has food or something.
Yeah, while everybody else is scrounging for food, I'm going to be scrounging Home Depot and Lowe's for more foam boards so I can make some more dioramas. What are you doing with that? Oh, I'm going to make dioramas for all my toys. Aren't you worried about food? Nope, I'm good there. Have fun, loser.
Priorities. He just needs a Cheez-Its factory next to Lowe's or Home Depot.
Scrambles. You know what? The retro ones that they're re-releasing right now from what they call the Playmates Classic line, man, they're amazing. Like if you want to recapture some of that stuff.
Yeah,
they're definitely doing a good job with them.
Yeah, I actually saw a couple of them in the store. Was it the last time I went? I think, but I was surprised. I wasn't expecting to see them. But yeah, those things they look really good.
They do. I mean, there's only been a few misses like that Wingnet one, but one of the guys that was in my comment section that actually told me his original Wingnut had the exact same problems that the retro re-release did, where the wings didn't stay on the back and they kind of fell off a little bit. He said the original one was exactly the same way. So they basically just took the original mold and just kind of redid these things, it seems.
Okay.
I tell you what, I think a lot of people, you know, Star Trek gets a bad rap, and usually anybody who was a Star Wars fan back in the day, many of us remember that there was a war between the Trekkies and the Star Wars fans. Yeah. He knows about that. The struggle with the Joes, man. ETEP knows.
Yeah.
KB Toys having aisles of Hot Wheels micro machines. You're damn right. And I know it was said earlier, DJ Ronnie G was talking about the $3 for 3 micro machine figures, and KB Toys would have them on sale. It'd be even cheaper. That'd be like $1.50 for a 3-pack of those damn micro machine figures. And those things were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that old stuff like that. And this one actually hit the spot. I am thinking about going back to Target and picking up the $30 Playmate one just to kind of do a comparison. But I want to wait until the damn thing goes on sale because money is getting tight, and I've already spent too much money this month as it is because I was in my local Target and they got restocked with the Eastman and Laird Ninja Turtle figures, and I found my damn foot soldier that I've been looking for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, score right there. And then
Hell
on
yeah.
top of that, I seen something from Mattel, which Mattel is a little bit on the shaky side right now because they're kind of like dipping their toes in the agenda shit. But from the origin line, I did find right there on the shelf the Talon Fighter and Point Dread.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. And considering that thing was less than $4 more than that Ninja Turtle and NECA Eastman and Laird figure,
Right.
I wasn't going to gripe about picking that thing up. And
Beautiful.
thank God that the wife had left me her card to go buy those things. No, I went back out and I bought a few things on my own card too. So
He's like,
you know,
air quotation and winks left in the card.
well, she told me, oh, go out and do some go get some extra shopping done before your money, because my money doesn't come in until the 3rd. So I was waiting for my money to come in, and she was going up north for 2 weeks. So she's like, here, you guys need pig food and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, yeah, I'll go get like pig food. I'll get kale for the tortoise outside, and I'll just peruse the toy out and see what. Oh, look what they got sitting on the shelf right here. You're coming home with Daddy. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, man.
I love it. Tommy's wife is like, here, go get yourself something nice.
Right? That's excellent.
Yeah, get them O-rings, man. Them O-rings work the trick every single time. Adam knows. Those things are great, man.
Sweet.
YouTube. What's going on, Stephen Ransom? My Genesis is dead, and I'm sure I kept my NES. We got an NES. We had a Genesis. I'm pretty sure it's still in the back. I got a GameCube somewhere back there as well. I got an original Xbox. Then I still got the Xbox 360. I sold my Nintendo 64 though. That was the one thing I did get rid of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I sold that shit years ago. I think I got $75 for it, like early 2000s, like 2010 or 11. I got over $75 for that old damn system with like 2 games. So I was like, yeah, that's $75 for that thing, which I didn't think I was going to get $20 for. So, yeah. Again, some of those things from 2016 weren't bad, but unfortunately the market on a lot of the Star Wars toys is definitely it's fallen right through the gutter. And
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Because Disney must be on it to let a franchise like that just go right to shit.
Oh, tell me about it.
But I think we're getting close to wrap up time. I'm going to end with one more toy break, something that I seen in the store. I kind of laughed about the stuff that's actually sitting on clearance, because along with the X-Men Legends, like Cyclops, who's just like he's taking over the clearance aisle with all the ones that are sitting there and nobody wants. Also, the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom figures that look god awful, where he looks like he's got a balloon head. Those retro style figures. Yeah, they're sitting there, and a few of the other Temple of Doom, the 6-inch figures, all on clearance. 11 something for the 6-inch figures, $5.99 for the little retro figures, and they still can't sell.
Holy shit!
I'm sure they're gonna wind up in a local Ollie's pretty soon.
Probably.
I'll wait for them to go down to like $2.99, and maybe I'll pick up that god awful looking thing because it looks terrible. But I did see after they got rid of all that stuff out of the regular aisles and it's all thrown in the clearance end caps, this is what they wound up repopulating those pegs with.
Well, it appears that all the storage stuff is gone. Now they moved into some new, all the clearance, and well, it appears all the clearance stuff is gone. Now they moved in with some new stuff. They got Sala, Henry Jones. Still got Marion and Sala sitting there from the first series. Prices are lower on the Sala. Like it's $11.99 for Sala, but it's $14.99 for Henry Jones. What the hell is that about? This is very odd.
Right? Yeah. It's Indiana Jones and the Wooga who gives a shit.
Yeah, what the hell was up with that? The same line of figures, and there's like a
$3 difference between the two figures. Like, why?
I don't know. That's very strange.
If somebody was to say, "Oh, well, Connery's dead." Mm-hmm. Why is there a $3 jump between the exact same line of figures? It makes no sense.
None. That's bizarre.
I will say this: at least the Connery one and the new version of Saw, at least they don't look half bad, and they don't look like fully retarded like the Temple of Doom one did for Indy. Because I'm telling you, with that little stupid balloon head that he has, it just looks like an asinine.
Holy shit! Crazy, man, fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the local Ollie's. That'd be next stop. Like to see what winds up on the pegs there, because every time they get them in Ollie's, they're getting them for cheaper, and they're putting them up for cheaper. I mean, here's the thing: a lot of people miss about a lot of these damn figures. So when they're selling these damn things for $11.99, $14.99 or more, I want you to remember when they're taking and selling these to the stores mark them up by 500% of what they pay for them.
Oh yeah.
Let that sink in. They mark them up 500%. Mm-hmm. So you mark them down 500%, you're getting the cost of what these toys actually are valued at. And even at clearance, they're still making money on it.
Oh, yeah. They most certainly are. It's crazy.
15 Barbie screens and 2 Indiana Jones screens. And the dead IP, right? As long as you're not drinking Bud Light. Nobody's drinking Bud Light. I just seen they had a video where one of the bars was taking the tap thing out.
Amazing.
That is great.
The Doctor Who encyclopedia. Yeah, that's one of the things about Ollie's that I don't really touch on very often, but they do have an extensive book, comic, and graphic novel section for dirt cheap.
No shit.
Oh, yeah.
Take a photo next time.
Oh, I absolutely will.
Yeah,
I found
Tommy's going to be our personal shopper.
Right? Oh, man.
Tommy and the Guinea Pig here collected at Ollie's right now, where we're seeing a tremendous collection of comics and graphic novels right here for your consumption. If you want to get these prices, don't wait. They are not going to last forever because these things are going to be bought and they're going to be taken right out of the store. You got to get here and buy them now. Buy now. Don't wait till later. Thank you. This has been Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective with your Ollie's forecast of things on the shelf for the day.
Yeah, dude, there are no stores like that near me. There was one that was near like where my cousins live, but it wasn't an Ollie's. I forgot the name of it. And like there was like a stack of comics and stuff too. And yeah, they said that they picked them up and then they forgot where they put them. I'm like, okay, thanks.
I'm trying to remember. Do you guys remember there was like a graphic series out there? It was it was kind of like the Grimm Tales. Kind of like Grimm's Adventures or something like that. They were doing like the R-rated versions of a lot of the old stories, like
the Xenotype crap, Xenotype.
Well, whatever it was Grimm's Adventures or something like that. Like they had like Snow White was like almost evil or something like that. Or
yeah, I think that shitty company. Yeah, I told them to go fuck themselves.
They were doing a lot of TNA like type poses in a lot of it.
Yeah. They were trying to. Yeah, they tried to screw me out of something, and they hired another artist to try to recreate my the covers that I did. The Alice that's on the cover of my Volume 2 art book, like that was supposed to be a cover for one of those books. And yeah, I talked to the president and of the company, and we discussed the price. It was fine. And then the guy underneath him was like, "Yeah, I think it's a little expensive. And how are your rates for interior?" I'm like, "Oh, go fuck yourself." And I walked away from him. Assholes.
There's some stuff in there. It's not. I wouldn't say it's like on the shelf right now, but it's stuff that's maybe about a year or so old. So, but yeah, I did see some of those Grimm ones. I picked a few of them up, and some of the artwork was okay in there, but yeah, the story was like, eh. Some of those stories were so bad. It was like I thumbed through it once and I was like, yeah, it's just going to go right in the bin somewhere. But I didn't pay hardly anything for them. So it was like, I didn't give a shit. I paid a lot less than what I'd pay at a local comic book shop to get brand new freaking books. So like I could walk out of there with a stack of freaking books out of Ollie's for the price I'd pay for one in a regular shop. But there's some cool stuff there. There's some interesting stuff there. So I mean, I always keep an eye out every time I go to see what they have new. Because sometimes if the books or the comics or graphic novels are good enough, they don't sit very long on the shelves and they disappear relatively quick. So
yeah.
Raise your tears, you're hitting on me, dude. Son of a bitch. Vinnie to the artist. But trash.
I told you, man, most of these comic book companies are all trash. Every last one of them.
It really is a shame.
People involved. Yep.
I mean, how do you go from a consumer-oriented business to something that's just agenda and think that you're going to keep making money?
But it's not just the agenda. I mean, you can take the agenda out of it. There's just a lot of people are just scumbags in those industries completely. It's like instead of trying to make good product and having like that, that cool kind of like art studio vibe. Because like the comics that were really good back in the day that we were still picking up, it's those guys who wanted to better themselves, and everyone worked together to make the proper stuff. But nope, now it's just whoever's throat we could slit to make more money and whatever grifting bullshit, copying things using AI. Yeah, it's just a series of garbage. Then that's a damn shame.
2010. I feel like it was dying way before then.
Yeah.
I think it was on the way out before then. I mean, there was a lot of things that set it into motion that actually killed a lot of these companies. I mean, hell, Marvel was almost bankrupt by then anyway, or maybe it was before then.
When was that? I forgot what year that was. But yeah, they fell off the stock market and all that shit. It's the movies that saved them.
Well, they by then they had already sold a lot of their franchises off.
Well, it was X-Men and Spider-Man, and then like they stopped there pretty much.
No, the Hulk, because they sold the Hulk.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I mean, they got pretty much everything back. It's the Hulk. I think they still have issues with that. That's why they haven't done another Hulk movie since the Incredible Hulk.
Well, I thought
distributed.
the limitation ran out because they were supposed to do a movie they were supposed to do something with the Hulk every 5 years from Universal itself, and they haven't.
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure, but I can't fuck Marvel. Look who their Hulk is. It's Mark Ruffalo. So shit.
That guy, I took a stab at him the other day on freaking X. I'm taking a shot at him on X.
Oh, I thought you meant the real
stupid
stab.
name. What a stupid name.
You got my hopes up, and then they crashed completely down.
Oh, I would like to take a shot at him. I'd like to punch him right in his ugly ass face multiple times.
Blockhead.
And the Jews to follow him in the ways of madness and evil. Marvel's MCU.
MCU.
God damn, it sounds like Pelosi would be behind that one.
I'm drunk and I'm making stock picks. Oh, look, another $1 trillion in my bank account.
These fucking people are all sickening. But I think this is a good spot to cash our chips, as it were, and run up out of here while we all still have our sanity. I want to take the time to thank everybody that stopped in the chat. Lurch Stroll, Chaos Hoy, Awesome One, Soul Assassin, Superfan, Adam Shawhan, Awesome One, Curtis YZ, Scrambles, the Death Dealer. I know Luffy is God was in the house as well. Stefan Ransom was in the house. Thank you for being here. DJ Ronnie G, thank you for being here. Where are we at? Tina Bojan, Bad Take Bojan, thank you for being in the house. Make that video. Make that video. You made a promise. It's time to make the video. The Time Prophet was also in the house. Trina, you sitting on the panel in the chat, doing double duties. As always, thank you for being here with us as well. I know I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing a couple people. And damn it, I can't. Oh, the men's room was also one that stopped by. Thank you for stopping by. Did I get everybody? I'm missing somebody. I know I'm missing a couple people. Damn it. Who am I missing? Oh, Disney Sheepherder was in the house. Frankie Nose was also in the house. Thank you. Thank you all for being here. Daytona Falls also stopped in. Thank you, Daytona. Spartan Flash Century. There you go. There's somebody I haven't seen in a little while. Thank you for being here. Kenny Rivera was in the house. Thank you, Kenny, for stopping in. Hope that you all had fun watching the stream. I hope you had fun watching some of these toys that we were showing off. And I hope it inspires you. Oh, Keely Chow and Slasher, too. Jesus, how did I forget about Slasher and Lion Ratton? Oh, man. Got my bad, guys. Keely Chow, the doc, was also in the house. Thank you for being here, Odega. But, guys, I hope this inspires you. I know I partially may be to blame for Curtis YZ looking into a few figures. My bad. I don't feel bad about it. But, you know, I think it's a lot of fun when we can actually dig back in and recapture some of those moments from our childhood, some of the things that we really did enjoy from some of these companies that are still doing it right. And as long as these companies continue to see what they're doing wrong and maybe correct it, maybe there's still maybe hope for them. Maybe. But some of these bigger companies, we know there's no hope. There's no hope for Disney. Warner Brothers at this point has pretty much sealed their fate, and they're going to be going the way of the dodo at this rate. So for the companies out there that are still sitting on the fence, whether you feel like you should dip your toes into the agenda pool, I would actually go and look what happened to Bud Light. I think that is a very good idea of what you were in store for. Go look at all the money that Gillette lost. Look at the money Target lost when they were trying to pimp out my queer for the month. So you know what? It is not going to work out for you. It is time to refocus on what matters, selling products to the consumers that want to see proper figures, or whatever it is that you're selling. Just give us exactly what we want, and just leave the agenda shit at the door, because there is no time for it and we don't want it. Yeah. But thank you to the awesome people in the chat. Thank you to, of course, to my awesome panel compatriots. and we're going to run around the panel, and they're going to let you know what they got going on and why you should be tuning in, right? Okay, so here we go.
What car is that coming up? Creepy. Drive by.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me on, Tommy. It was great to be with everybody. Yeah, you can catch me when I'm not with these guys, Tommy and Vinnie. You can catch me on my channel at Real Horror, REEL. This coming Wednesday we'll be doing Evil Dead 1 and 2 at 7 p.m. Eastern, so that'll be fun. Otherwise, hope you all have a great night.
Oh, thank you for being here, Trina. And guys, be sure to check it out. Are you doing Real Horror on Wednesday?
Yes, I am going to be doing it.
All right, and we'll be doing Evil Dead 1 and 2?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, Disney Inferno. I don't know if I have that one on here. I might have to switch brands and go out on that. But, of course, we also have...
It's me, Mario Kartitis. Oh, no. Boy, do I have a big mushroom for you.
Tomorrow, tomorrow at 5, we should be doing a Friday Underground stream. And we'll, I'm sure it'll get spicy, so we're gonna do the majority of that on Rumble. But tune into YouTube anyway, because we'll start it there. And again, it's just trying to keep the hours up at least for a bit more. Shoot. Oh, Saturday we should be doing, I think, the Royal Rumble, or no, SummerSlam. That's it. SummerSlam over on ETEPS. It should be him, Tony. The regular guys. We're going to be hanging out, watching some wrestling. Like, we haven't watched the WWE shit in forever. But last year we did SummerSlam, and Tony wants to do it again. So yeah, we'll be hanging out over there. And then Sunday, it's going to be another great stream over on my channel. And we hit everything. And well, there's plenty of stuff to talk about, and we can only talk about a fraction of that on YouTube. So tune in there, and then I'll be dropping links, and you can go to Rumble and join us on that. In the meantime, yes, pick up some of my books if you can. If you could afford it, please do so, or at least grab links and get them out there for everyone. Shout out to Kraken, Through the Woods, City of Venus. Again, we hit 600 books sold on Venus recently. And we're like one sale away from hitting 800 sold for Through the Woods. So if you want a nice hardcover, just a gorgeous book all around, a complete story, oversized, that's definitely the book to get. My level of detail is like next level. So if you want the good stuff, we got the good stuff. And I am working on Venus 2 at the moment. I'm pouring a ton of detail into all these pages. So hopefully we'll have the sign up by the end of the year for that. So this was great. This was awesome. Everyone in the chat, everyone on panel, love you guys and girls. Kick some ass.
No, thank you, Vinny. Guys, remember, all the links are down in the description below. You can click onto those wonderful projects and get one for yourself. Remember, Halloween is only right around the corner. What better time than to read a good, scary comic book? Mm-hmm. But, guys, thank you so much for being here, every last one of you. This is always a blast to be able to do these streams, even with the nonsense that YouTube is actually subjecting me to. YouTube, you can suck my fuzzy nuts with your goddamn shadow banning bullshit. I see the comments from all the people that whether it's a requested fight or if they say, oh, can you do this toy line or something like that? And then they ask me a month later, oh, whatever happened to that? It's up on the channel. I never got notified. Why? Because YouTube is playing the fucking games again. You can kiss my ass, Uncle Bollywood. Fuck you and the goddamn horse you rode on, you cunt. But, guys, we're going to go out and we're going to tell some of these companies exactly what we think of them. And we're going to talk about Disney. And we hope that you have a good one. And we will catch you next time. Later, YouTube bitches!